This is after just refilling my pieces. They're still in the kiln. And they are filled with krypton gas, which gives it a white light. And the other colors are coming from the phosphor coating that's on the inside of the glass. I refilled them because one of them had, I think, a little crack in it that needed to be repaired, and while I was doing that, I decided to replace the electrodes because I had the tubulation. The tubulation is that thin little piece of glass coming off where it connected to the gas filling. I had that coming off of the bottom before, and so when I sealed that off, it made just a little sticking out part at the bottom, which I realized doesn't work very well because these have to fit into a porcelain base, and that was making it so that it was kind of fragile. So what I did was I took off those old electrodes, I replaced them with straight ones, and I attached the tubulation coming off the tip of one of the leaves instead. So that way, when I seal it off completely, it will just become a little point that's part of the piece rather than an extra unnecessary part sticking out at the bottom, if that makes sense. I remember when I first filled this a few months ago when I first made it, this same thing happened when as it was just filled with gas and it's cooling right now, the glass is still kind of warm just from being heated in the kiln. And it had this wobbly effect, this kind of, the light is shaking around like that. And after it cooled, it kind of stabilized. So I'm hoping the same thing will happen again because I don't really want a moving light. I just want a soft glow. Just turning the power down and back up. And it's probably going to do that for a little while, but I hope that will stop. So now I want to check the other one. So I'm switching the jumper cable to the other electrode. And then I'm going to turn on the power supply. And unless the lights are off, you aren't going to be able to see it. And this is with the lights off. And this one is not moving, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why one of them has the shaky effect and this one doesn't, because they were both connected to the same filling manifold. They both have the exact same gas fill. But it might be that this one is slightly cooler because this one, I think, was only doing that shaky light thing because it was a little bit hotter than the other one because it was in the back of the kiln. You can see that it's already starting to diminish the shakiness as it's cooling. It's still doing it a little bit, but not as much as it was. And probably in just a little while, it will have completely stabilized.